About Gemara. Today's daf is daf Nun Aleph. This is the Gemara for Friday, Erev Shabbos. Shabbos Hagadol. The Gemara will start from daf Nun on the base on the bottom of the page. Ad Moshe Mutter Lahachzer. We gave a time limit until when you can come back and say I was cheated. It was I know. The buyer has this limit. Only the buyer has this limit. When Dafnun Amr Beis, and we just learned there's a time limit, as the time limit is until you can go show to your relative, or contract when you have a whole day. Says only the buyer. But the vendor, he can always change his mind. And the reason is he doesn't have the item in his hand. So therefore, because he doesn't have the item in his hand, it's only when he buys another product similarly, he says, oh, I just had that and I sold it I undersold it. Name him, let's support him. Again, that these people initially they were all excited about Rav Tarfon because he gave a much bigger margin, and then after when Rav Tarfon said you don't only have the time to show to your relative, but till you have a whole day, they came back. If you tell me that the vendor can always change his mind, therefore they decided to go back to the Chachamim because they didn't gain anything from. Rav Tarfon giving them a whole day to change their mind because the Chacham said you change your mind forever. So therefore, from the vendor's perspective, it's better. If you tell me that Moicha has the same time limit as a Lekeach, so Rav Tarfon gave more time to the Moicha to change his mind a whole day. The Chachamim only said you have till the time you see your relative, an hour or two. They both have a benefit. So we answered, they don't really benefit from Rav Tarfon because they don't need the extra 24 hours. They generally know the price, so they have an idea of what it should be selling for. So the chance of them being cheated or underselling is very rare. Exactly. This is Ludnikus. Next door. The host of Rav Chama, Zavin Chabra, he sold wine, but he sold wine, but he made a mistake in the price. Ashkel of Yatzib, Rabbi Chama saw that he was depressed. Amalei Mayatzib, why are you depressed? Amalei Zavini Chamra, Zabini Chamra, I sold wine and I made a mistake. Amalei Zil Hadabach. So go collect it back. Take it, undo the deal. Amalei Hai Shahai Hashai Li Yosef Le Shadel Tager the Kraving. I passed by the cooling off period. Shad the Kavan Nachman, he said for Rav Nachman to ask what the halach is. Amalei Lo Shanu El Lekech. When is that cooling off period limited only to the buyer? Amalei Moichel El Chayzer, but the vendor can always change his mind. My time will okay. He has in his hand, where he goes, he can show it to people. They'll tell him, oh, you got a good price. They'll say, they'll tell you what a deal, or they'll say that you cheated. The Moichid doesn't have anything in his hand to show to anybody. It's only when he buys something else similar to what he sold, then he'll know he made a mistake. So therefore, we give him a much longer time. Yeah. Who gave the person holding these strips of silk to sell? Kori Shisa Vishavia Chamishin. It was only worth 5, but he screamed out, "I'm selling it for 6. I'm selling it for 6." Now, the Hamisho Paul Gavishaka, but this was his ambit claim, but he was prepared to take even 5.5, which is a very small. From 5 to go to 6 is more than enough. Is more than a 6, but from 5 to 5.5 is not. Also, who Gavra came along, person of he says this person said made it of this smart buyer. Give him 5.5. Have a mechila. Then it's less than I know, and we said before it's immediate. It's mechila. At the leishisa, I'll give him what he asked for 6, which is I know, and I'll get the full dollar back. I'll only pay 5. That dinner, and I'll take the trade, and I'll get my full dollar back. So you see clearly from me that I know means you go back to bring it down to less than once you cheated, you go back to the real price. Go back to 5. Also, the comment of Rabba came for Rabba. That's what the Mishnah said, yeah. But what the Rabba said, the halach is the Rabba said the halach is that I know the deal is a deal. You just get your money back. More than a 6, like in this case, it would have been more than I know. Then you have a choice. What do you want to do? Yeah, what's the point of buying it and knowing that you're going to cancel it? It's no point in that. Also, no, it's only when you buy it from a merchant. Then we say there's old in no. You buy it from Balabas, You're Michael, whatever price he gets. We'll see in a minute. Who got the person? I'm not going to keep it. He had over there this bracelet to sell. Cody, he was asking for 6. 60. It was only worth 50. But in his mind, he thought, oh, this will be the start. I'll negotiate. The Habi Shakal would take 55 as well, which is less than I know. Also, there's a lot of buyers out there that are pretty clever and cluey. He said, 55. It's a deal. I'll give him 60. That's what he's asking for. Then I'll get the whole money back. I'll go back down to 50. He said the same thing. Only if you buy from a merchant. Buy from a private individual. Yasher, correct. Yasher, correct. I really we learn the Mishnah says clearly here, just like a merchant is also a hedyet. Who's a hedyet? Hedyet must be a balabas. So we see that what balabas also has the same din of a my hedyet la balabayis. What's a chilik? Amar says depends what you're selling. If it's to the if it's just cheap clothing, then you're right. Then you have all the same laws of buying and selling. But if it's like clothing or things that the items that this guy holds dear, sentimental value, but he has no choice, he has to sell it. He's not going to sell it cheap because it means a lot to this person. So very sentimental, has a lot of sentimental value. And he says, when you went in Chatzila, that this guy is gonna charge you more, and you went in and bought it, so as if you were Meichel, and you're allowed to be Meichel. As we'll soon see in the Gemara, if you can even condition a contract out of this whole din of Einoch. Mishnah. Echad halakeyach, whether you buy, echad may sell, yesh lehenaynoch. There's a no for both of them. It's a protection for both vendor and buyer. To shame showing no lehedye kach no tag. This is what we just quoted. Just like there's a no for a hedge, there's a no for a tag. And as an individual also, there is what do you call it? No, interesting. The Mishnah says just like a hedge, the tag should be the other way around. Rabbi Yehuda says ain't oino le tagger. Rabbi Yehuda says there's no oino for a tagger. There's no oino because he's making profit. You accept it. Misha hutul olav, whoever is the one who is the victim, yodoy alal yoina. The Mishnah says you can choose. This oino means exactly a sixth. You're in the driver's seat. I'm going to tell him. I say, I tell him the son. Either give back my money, he cheated me, or let's undo the whole deal. But that's the Mishnah. Rabbi Paskin like the Bryce of Rab Nassim, as we had yesterday. Says how do you know? How do you know the buyer and the seller, both of them have the oino? Maybe it's only the buyer. The pasuk says, if you sell something to your friend, I'll tell you, don't cheat him. So who's the victim here? The buyer. How do you know that if the vendor turned out to be the victim? There's also this, this safety net of oino. The buyer. Then the pasuk says, if you sell it to your friend, you bought it. It means if you buy it from your friend, don't cheat. In other words, don't cheat the vendor. I'll tell you. Why does it have to write both? Because I'm on a Meichel. Only told us about the seller. If you tell us the sense, I would say that he knows exactly what how much the Taylor is warning the seller, don't you dare cheat. The Taylor will directly to the seller because he knows exactly what he paid for it. He knows if he's cheating deliberately. If he overcharges, he knows exactly what he's doing. The buyer has no idea what his real worth is. He said, I'm not prepared to pay or whatever is more than this. He doesn't know what the real value is, so therefore you can't blame the buyer. Maybe there's no ino on the buyer. So they don't know the prices. Maybe they didn't warn him. Because I'm going to let the buyer because the buyer is kind. The buyer, at least, if the Torah only told the buyer, don't cheat, don't cheat, I would say, you know why? Because what do you call it? The end of the day, the buyer is walking away with something. The kakani, the amri inches of anticonisa. We would have said that we need to tell the trader has to the buyer, don't cheat, because we would have said the buyer, no matter what price he pays, the fact is he walks away with an item, a merchant has something to show for it. So therefore we have to be told that no, don't cheat the buyer or anything else. But let's say the meiche, maybe the meiche is allowed to cheat. Why is the meiche allowed to cheat? Because the meiche gets money, and money you spend. Yeah, you got the money today, tomorrow it's gone. So maybe he's allowed to charge extra to have something. The buyer walks away with something. A chayfetz has something, but he has not money. Is something that you're spending of a hole in your pocket. That means whatever. If you sell, you lose, but you got money for it, but you lose the money. Maybe the potato whatever wouldn't proscribe. It's both. If you made another target, ain't no, because he's a merchant, they don't know what he means. He's going to change now the pshat in the Mishnah. But target safse. So we're talking about a mekler, a broker. Talking about a broker. Why my time and made the others winter. A broker buys and immediately sells. Not like a store they can sit there and collect dust for a few months. A broker, he buys right away, has a buy. He bought it and has a buy on the other end. So therefore, because he just bought it this morning and sells in the afternoon, he knows exactly what the price is. So therefore, made the yod he knows exactly the price is, how much of it's worth. And therefore, if this vendor decided to sell it for less, he knows he knows it cost him $100. How did he get cheated? You charge too little. If he charged $85, he knows that it's worth 100. Obviously, he needs it desperate for the money, and or he has another better deal coming along his way, so he needs to turn it in cash straight away. So therefore, it's as if he's Michael. And he's talking Michael that there's no by a safstra because he knows the price and he deliberately decided to sell it, for a bigger discount. Obviously, he has a cheshbon and he's Michael. The high does have the you know why he decided to sell it for a bigger discount than enough. Another deal is coming by his way. Now that's what he does. He's a broker. He buys and sells. Maybe he changed his mind. I need the cash. I better buy the better deal. Rav Ashi says, "My ain't the target or no, ain't the betoydis or no." Rav Ashi pufaket. Rav Ashi wants to say, you know what it means when you say ain't target? No, not that that whatever price he sells it at, it's a good sale, but it maybe means that there's no halachas of at all by him. That what shafilu pocha that he 1% less than what it's worth, he could change his mind. Maybe that's what I mean by that by a target. By a target, he's not meichel at all. He needs to make money. So if he undersold even by 1 cent, it's what do you call it? It's not right. It's not business. We had before Zavin v'Zavin Tagra. If you sell and buy and sell the same price, you're a seicher. So surely in this case as well. Says the Gemara. Tanya goes, I'm Nachman that no, that not the pshat that even a cent he can change his mind. Forget a safsra, even no matter what discount he gives, it's a valid sale because he knows the price and he's meichel. If you don't he knows the price and he deliberately sets out he just bought it this morning. Now he's selling it. He needs the cash for a better deal that's coming by his way. Whoever is the victim, he's the one who's in the driver's seat. Who said that all you do is get by shtus, you get your money back, you cannot undo it. But Rabbi Yehuda Nasi knows Rabbi Yehuda Nasi, who's talking about the vendor, is in the driver's seat. And here it seems to say the buyer is in the driver's seat. The Mishnah says you're in the driver's seat, you can choose. The Bryce says you're fixed. All you do is get your money back. And the Mishnah says the buyer is in the driver's seat. And Bryce is the Meicher is the driver's seat. As if to say each one is arguing that the other one is never in the driver's seat. I know any day Mishnah. Blazer says his answer is I don't know. I don't know who the author of this Mishnah is. So Rabbi, I'm not going to answer that. Just don't say anything. Rabbi is not adding anything to the question. The question was we don't know who it is, and Rabbi says yes, we don't know. Rabbi said we don't know who it is. It's not much of an answer. But Rabbi says it is a nasan. The tni nami bebraisa it's a nasan, but the braisa left out the word rotza driver seats. Could the braisa relied on the Mishnah? The Mishnah already told you that you have a breda whether you want your money back or you undo the seal. Same thing in the braisa. Rabbi said Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. Rabbi said no. Really, it's Rabbi Yehuda Nasi. It is Rabbi Yehuda Nasi who the braisa says about the vendor in the driver's seat. My deshayib masisi coming from the braisa. The Mishnah is focusing on the victim, so it says on the buyer, so the buyer is the driver's seat, and the braisa is focusing on the seller, but they both have exactly the same thing. It says the Mishnah starts off whether you're the buyer, whether you're the seller, as if they both have exactly the same din, and then it gives you an example of explains lekech, which means the Mishnah would agree that the same din that applies to lekech applies to the Meicher. So if the Meicher was the one that was cheated, the Meicher now has a choice by Yishtus, exactly as 6. He has a choice whether he wants to undo the deal or whether he gets the money back. The Mishnah just left out a meicher. Even we learned Heimlich when a person has a friend, we'll have this in Makis. A person has his friend, Amanas she'ein loch alai ana. A person has a friend, I'm selling this to you on the condition that you have no oina. Rav says, in other words, I'm going to sell this to you, but you can't come to me with any kindness that I cheated or anything else. In other words, you're making a tanai against the halach and the Torah. Rav says the tanai is batul, even though it's a manner of commercial. You can be meichel, but you went out explicitly against the Torah. Yesh le'elavana. I don't care what you said. You can't contract out of a din of the Torah. However, Shmuel says, "Ain't le'elavana." Shmuel says he can be meichel. He can be meichel. I'm prepared to pay. Actually, I don't care. So l'chayda, this is exactly my we have between the mayor and Shmuel. Rav Dama could have mayor Shmuel Rabbi Yehuda. Rabbi Yehuda. What's the ma'aseh? The Tanya we learned.
If there's a no here, or
I don't want the dinner of an to be involved associated with our case.
It's cheating, right? It's not cheating.
He means the halacha,
and I'm charging you this.
That's later. That's in footage. If he would have said it cost me 100, but I'm charging 300, yeah, that's something else. Then you openly most saying the din of an don't apply here. But he added, I don't want the din of an to apply here. We're saying it's tantamount what you're saying. The time a man says that why a woman I'm not going to owe you all the obligations a man has to a woman, clothing and food and everything else, and also marital relations. We're not going to have it. You can't make a Tanai against the Torah, it's Batal. Rabbi Yehuda says, I agree with you when it comes to Oina. It's a din of the Torah. But she'll always be Meichel. But when it comes to money, she can be Meichel. So L'chayda, Rav holds like Rabbi Meir, he can't be Meichel, and Shmuel holds like Rabbi Yehuda. Each one will say that the case of Kedushin is very different than the case of Enoch. Why? Rav says, look, I'm not even Rabbi Yehuda holds that you could be Meichel, but not in the case of Enoch. Why not? She knows what she's getting into, and she said, okay, I'm Meichel the Ksus. I will hoch me the Machel, here's the buyer. Does he know what the real value is that he says that, oh, you're cheating me? I'm Meichel. What kind of Mechila is that when you don't know? You don't know. Maybe he's cheating me. Maybe he's not cheating me. That's not called a Mechila. And Shmuel says, I'm talking about a field of Meir. You say that you're Meichel, even a mayor says in the case of Sheikh, can I be Meichel? Here you can. What's the difference? I'd kind of go and the Vadekaka. There, Taylor clearly said Sheikh, and you're saying, I'm not interested. So you're going directly against the trader. I will help over here, even if you contract out of a no, do you really know that this will be a no cheating here? You're not sure 100% that you're cheating here. You say, look, before we start handling it, I want you to know that there's no no here. And then we start haggling on the price. Do you know what you're actually going to end up? Are you definitely going against the trader? No. So maybe even May would agree that if it's not definitely against the trader, maybe it's a valid tonight. For me, I understand according to Shmuel, even though he said you couldn't contract out of a no because you're Meichel, but he says on the condition you don't come to me with kindness for no valid tonight. I'm telling this to you on the condition that there's no cheating here. That's not the same thing. I'm saying that you sure I'm not cheating you. Turn out to me that you did cheat him. Then the deal falls apart. Then deal falls apart. Because the big difference between saying ain't boyana or ain't a lie. A lie knows maybe there is cheating here, but you're not going to come to me with any recriminations. Ain't boyana. I mean, I'm telling you this. I'm being honest truth. I'm telling you the price. I just bought it. Yeah, and it's a lie. Macy, I'll ask you a question. There's different ways of selling something. Sometimes you sell something which is a good product. I sell them and you owe me the money. Another one is it's a slow seller. So I said, you know what? As you sell, pay me whatever whatever. It's good. On faith. I'm selling you on faith. Like consignment. Yeah. As you sell, you give me the money. Says the Gemara. Now, in this case over here, what happens is in the case of Amana, which is usually a product, which is a slow seller product, so I pay you for your tircha. Because there's no profit going to be involved there. I pay you for the effort that you're putting in. I know you're not and somebody says, friend, I'm not saying, I know, don't have no kindness. Ain't loyal love enough. Now, wow, there's no din of enough. The Rav, the Rav who says, I know that I'm for Rabbi Yehuda. Rav, so what says clearly here that what? That there's no, that you could make a Tanai by a no. Now, Rav said before that everyone agrees you cannot make it tonight. Even Rabbi Yehuda says by Kedushin you could be Meichel, but not over here because you didn't know to be Meichel. You don't know. I'm sure. So who's the author of this brayso here? It says right here clearly, if I say I'm a nas she'ein l'chol, I know ain't the Tanai is fulfilled. You Rav said before that when it comes to everyone agrees you cannot make such a Tanai. You cannot be Meichel because you don't know you cheat or not, so how come the price that you could? Is Rav Dam and Adam Rifle Yehuda Hamani who's also the price? I'm going to buy. Says you're right. We're going to have to change what we said before. Machavarta. Let's go back to our original premise. Rav Amar Kerab Meir Shmuel Amar Yehuda. Rabba says, like kasha, no kasha. This is what you said before, Chaim. Kan bestam, kan b'mefarish. There's a big difference. If you say stam, amanashe ein l'chayalai, no, you don't know there isn't, so you're not really meichel. That's Rav. But if I tell you openly, I tell you, you should know that this is cost me 100, but I'm selling you for 150. I'm not sure what kind of meichel you are if you tell that to people, but I'm telling you openly that and if you still bought it, that means you're meichel. This is vada you're meichel. You're going to Rav. The Tanya Bamedra Mistam. When do we say that there's no Michil Mistam? Avol Bemefarish, Moiche, Shom Lake, Chek Possession, Moichel Messiah, for $200 a day, Anish, Boish, Ain Shabel Mana. I know it's only worth 100. This is the case where Rabbi Yehuda would agree. Rabbi Yehuda's argument that the Tanai is bottle works. That the Tanai is a valid Tanai. I'm open about it, and you're accepting it in the Levana. The Chain likewise, a Lekeach Sha'amal Meichet. If a buyer says lekech, a buyer says to the mecher, again, you openly say, this object I'm buying from you, the money, you're there, any buy of I know it's worth 200, but I'm only willing to pay 100. I don't want you to have any recriminations against me. Ain't a love, no. That's when we say that the Tanai is kind because you said before. So that's just Bryce. Tell me, I learned. I know you said when I said if somebody, you're dealing with faith that you so as you go, and I'll pay you tirche. But what happened was normally when I sell you a product, good product, you can sell straight away. You pay me back the money. But what I do over here. I shouldn't go ahead and say, look, you're instead of me paying your wages, I'm going to let you keep the money from the good object that you sold for a few months until you sell the other one, and then you'll give me the money together. And the fact that I'm allowing you to use the money that you made from the chayfet that you sold longer than usual, usually 30 days count. I'm going to give you 6 months so that you can meanwhile try to sell the other one. It's like Ibis. It's like Ibis because the fact that I'm allowing you to have the money is like I'm saying that it's worth money, and that's going to be your payment for selling the other product. So nobody knows. So it's like I'm lending you the use of my money for an extra 5 months, and I'm charging you. And that's like consider that your wages, something like that. That's like it is. Not all the same reviews. Actually, that's how it actually is. Everyone should be exactly the same. Either you pay them both like a money, but you sort of give them a certain amount of wages, or whatever the fixed amount is, or you just give them both the profit and that's it. But what you do have to pay him is costs. What are costs? You give him the schar for carry the freight, the freight. Schar gomel, or the doing a camel. Schar pudik. He might have to travel a few days, so he has to stay in a hotel. Schar atmein, no wages. Shikvar nosles chodim mishalem. You gave him already full wages. What do you mean? Where are you giving it from? The standard money that you give him is you give him four for a tzruya is like the common clothing that you sell. Is give $4 for every 100. That's the tzircha money, and that's what we gave you, and that's it. We don't give you any more money than that, so we don't profit. Either all have to be treated the same way. Otherwise, it looks like I'm giving you a dipis.